Hey everyone, hope you're keeping well. Grace has gone on the train this afternoon, as you probably saw from the updates. She's on the final leg now from London Bridge towards Kent. In the meantime, I've been trying. This is what's left of her farm at the moment. It was because it's been living up on here. It's been in an extremely sorry state. So I'm fixing it down to a thicker board, so it'll stick down a bit flatter and straighter. I've also put a curb on the board, make it natural, because this board's actually going to be raised again just a little bit above from where the farm originally would have been, which means her fields will be slightly lower than the farm, which I think makes it a little bit more realistic. Right guys, so what I was saying about Grace's farmyard area, obviously originally it was on this thin piece of board, and sadly, because it's been neglected and a bit bashed and everything like that, she is going to have to redo it. But the board itself would become warped. So what I've done is I've actually nailed it down to this piece of OSB that I had lying around, and I've actually created a little type of pond area if she wants it. Again, with another piece of OSB underneath it. And she can fill this area around. Scale wise it's about 30 foot by 30 foot, so I think that's alright for a pond. And then it's just down to Grace to sadly rebuild it, which she put so much effort into it when she was starting her lives off. But yeah, I don't think that's too bad. It's a lot more firmer now. I've left it on the board because these are actually stuck to the board itself, but I've nailed and glued the board down to the OSB to straighten it out and give it a bit of strength, and then hopefully she can start work on it again. Right, catch you in a bit. What I'm doing as well today is just doing a bit of soldering. I've had some issues where the trains have been derailing under the farm, and I've already soldered. Where's it gone? I'm not good up with it. I'll try and find it for you. I've just soldered here, the joints here. I haven't soldered every joint, but where there's magically appeared creating gaps in places, I'm just filling up a few of them. This one point is where the train has been, excuse the email sound, the train's been derailing, so I've soldered that one up, and I'm also going to solder, I'm hoping this isn't both because this screen is tiny, I'm also going to solder this one up as well because there's a bit too much of a gap in that one as well, so you can watch me doing that. Right, hello everyone again. Doing a bit of a mix and match today. While Grace is away, you know what they say about the cats, mice and cats and all this sort of thing. We've managed to order the... I had a bit of guidance. Actually, I contacted that model railway guy on Facebook after watching his video on this, so a big shout out to him. And fair goes, he messaged me back and gave me a direct link to the exact paint I needed, which is this stuff, Rail Match acrylic water-based non-toxic brown paint, and it is 2406 Sleeper Grime, which is the correct brown one. And what I'm going to attempt, as I said while Grace is away, is what he actually did most brilliantly on his track, which was try and weather the track a bit. So what he started off doing first of all, this is obviously a piece of just scrap track, was paint down the sides of the sleepers, not sleepers, rails even. He did say that, if you get some actually on the top rails, it's not overly important because you could just wipe it straight off afterwards, but you've got to keep the top of the rail clean, obviously, because what we want to do with this is weather this down and have a go at ballasting. Obviously the paint we can't reuse, but once this is dried off we can reuse the ballasting, because obviously we're not going to, well, I don't know, we might have a go with the 50-50 water PVA mix. Did say you don't have to do it on both sides, it depends on where your track is in view. If it's on a far side of your layout, you're not going to want to paint both sides, because you're not going to see it, and all you're doing there is just wasting paint. So we'll just do this small, no, I'll do the whole thing actually while I'm talking to you. So we're just going down the sides, just aging up the rails a bit, make sure they've just look like they've been there for a while. Which you can tell this one has actually. Any more aging, it'll look prehistoric. And that'll be Grace messaging me now. She's probably watching, I've got the security camera on, so she's probably watching and thinking, what the hell are you blooming doing? So that's the sides done. Wipe down your tops, make sure they're clear. Obviously not overly important for this one, but, and then what I want to do is the actual sleepers themselves. Like that model railway guy says, you know, these look too shiny, so we're just going to weather them up a bit, make them look a bit more wooden than plastic. I will show you the effect on the top in a bit. Grace is probably watching on the security camera now, probably going nuts thinking that's my job, because she's actually looking directly over my shoulder because the camera's behind me. So I have no doubt that she can actually see what I'm doing. Even though she's 300 something plus miles away, she's still watching over my shoulder. Nice to know you're loved. And obviously weather down the edges as well. I'm not going to do all of these. I'm just going to have a go and see what it dries out like. I will show you a better view in a minute. Obviously you're not getting that much of the brown. So I'll leave that there. That was the light falling off. I'll have to ask Grace if I can wash it. It's water based, isn't it? So I can wash it in the